When things seem to be at their worst, do we still trust God? Do we wait for God's timing and ask for wisdom while we wait? Let's look at Esther 5. Did Esther finally gather the courage to take her request before the king? Now on the third day, Esther put on her royal clothing and stood in the inner court of the king's house, next to the king's house. The king sat on his royal throne in the royal house, next to the entrance of the house. When the king saw Esther the queen standing in the court, she obtained favor in his sight, and the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther came near and touched the top of the scepter. Then the king asked her, "What would you like, Queen Esther? What's your request? It shall be given you, even to the half of the kingdom." Did Esther prepare the way for her request of the king? Esther answered, "If the king wishes, please come today with Haman for the feast that I've prepared for him." "Hurry, get Haman," the king ordered, "so we can do what Esther says." So the king and Haman came to the feast that Esther had prepared. As they sipped wine, the king asked, "Now what is it you wish? I'll give it to you." "What do you want? I'll do anything, even give you half the kingdom." Esther answered, "This is my wish, and this is what I want. If I please the king, and if the king wishes to grant my wish and my desire, I'd like the king and Haman to come to another feast that I'll prepare for them. Tomorrow I'll answer the king's questions." What was Haman so upset about the day before he had dinner with the king? Haman was feeling great as he left, but when he saw Mordecai at the palace gate, he noticed that Mordecai did not stand up or show him any respect. This made Haman really angry, but he didn't say a thing. When Haman got home, he called together his friends and his wife Zeresh and started bragging about his great wealth and all his sons. He told them the many ways that the king had honored him and how all the other officials and leaders had to respect him. Haman added, "That's not all. Besides the king himself, I'm the only person Queen Esther invited for dinner. She's also invited the king and me to dinner tomorrow. But none of this makes me happy as long as I see that Jew, Mordecai, serving the king." What vengeful idea did Haman's wife put into his head? Then his wife Zeresh and all her friends said to him, "Let a gallows 50 cubits high be made, and in the morning tell the king to have Mordecai hanged upon it. Then go joyfully with the king to the feast." This idea pleased Haman, and he had the gallows made. Are there many such examples in the Bible of people who've endured? What can we learn from them? Therefore, since we also have such a large cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let's lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let's run with endurance the race that lies before us, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the source and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that lay before him endured a cross and despised the shame, and is set down at the right hand of God's throne. For consider him endured such hostility from sinners against himself, so that you won't grow weary and lose heart. When things seem to be at their worst, do we still trust God? Do we wait for God's timing and ask him for wisdom while we wait? You decide.